Hello, friend. I'm so glad you're here with me. If you haven't seen one of my videos before, I share the daily word from Unity Publications. You can find out more about them at unity.org. Today's daily word is faith. The affirmation is, and if you would like to affirm with me, faith heals, prospers, blesses, and sustains me. Sometimes I wish I had a way of looking into the future and knowing what to expect. But even though I cannot know how the future might unfold, I can still be prepared for it through the power of my faith. Having faith means I have unwavering fidelity to spiritual truths. My faith is my anchor, keeping me steady during shifting worldly circumstances and focused not on the things of the world, but of the power of spirit. My faith keeps me steadfast in the midst of uncertainty, inventive when met with stagnation, and adaptable when faced with changing circumstances. I turn my attention to God and feel my soul illuminated by my belief that everything is working for good. I align with this truth, go forth, blessed by my faith. Today's scripture is 2 Corinthians 5:7. For we walk by faith, not by sight. So I've always been a person of faith, but it hasn't always been centered in the truth. For a long time, me and God were on different sides of the universe. I held on to a lot of pain and anger towards him. Then there was a period of just indifference. I knew there was something bigger than myself. After all, I was still breathing. I had great faith at the end of the day, regardless of what happened, I would be okay. Since then, I've realized there is no separation between me and God. Even in times I denied him or turned my back on him, he was always there. It kind of reminds me of my dog, Sydney. She was scared of most things. She would turn her head from whatever was scaring her. Be it a bunny or a kitten, terribly frightening things. Like, if I don't see you, it's not there. But of course, it was still there. Just like God created and is in all of us, regardless of our beliefs, our actions, just as Christ lived and died for all of us to show us the way to God, regardless if we acknowledge or accepted that gift. Now, off my soapbox, how about some things we can do to increase our faith? First and foremost, and this is just my opinion, I know those are iffy, but remember what you put your focus on is where your faith is. We can't say our faith is in God in one breath and focus on the news, our worries, and what we feel our life is lacking. The two just do not align. What you are focused on the joy and the challenge. As Paul says in Philippians 4:8, finally, brothers and sisters, whatever is true, whatever is noble, whatever is right, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, if anything is excellent and praiseworthy, think of such things. Dr. Amen, a national recognized psychiatrist to the stars, says, kill the ants, automatic negative thoughts. We all have them, and if we aren't conscious and aware of it, they will run rampant. Awareness is so vital in so many aspects of our life. It is my belief that when you get rid of the ants, it will play a vital role in being able to increase your faith. She cautions blind faith can become magical thinking with a big dose of denial. I'm going to reference a couple of articles from unity.org, which I will link in the description. The first is the 4 Levels of Faith by Reverend Ellen Davenport. Faith is believing that something, anything is steering the course of your life. You get to choose what that is. That makes me think of something I once heard along the lines of, there are two types of people. One says, "Why is this happening to me?" And the other one says, "Why is this happening for me?" So similar, but so far apart. She talks about growing through 4 levels of faith. The first being hope. Hope is not as strong as faith, but sometimes it's the best we can muster. Hope acknowledges that things might get better. It expresses a wish. She describes it as a low-level faith. The second level is blind faith. She cautions blind faith can become magical thinking with a big dose of denial. It also doesn't require our participation. We just wait for some kind of intervention from outside of us. The next level being understanding, faith through spiritual maturity. We know God is all there is, we are part of the whole, and we are key participants in life's unfolding. Nothing can separate us from God. The final and deepest faith is also the simplest, knowing. We don't struggle to adjust our thinking or believe in good instead of bad. We just know. We know we live in a universe of abundance. We know health is our natural state. We know the universe is biased for good, and most things work out for the best, at least in the long run. Call it grace. It's kind of ironic because I never read her article till today, but I can see those different stages in my life, and I have to say, it's wonderful knowing. Now, if you're not there yet, don't get discouraged. This is a journey that has taken me a couple of decades, from a lost teen destroying Bibles to a young adult looking for community and religion and not finding it, to years of going through the motions with little glimpses of hopes here and there, to a decade ago when an internal longing, pulling, could no longer be denied, and it's far from over. The whole reason I'm doing these videos is to tell you it can be done. If you're here watching this and you have the desire, you're a lot further in your journey than you realize. And growth can be as quick or as slowly as you desire. Whatever speed, it's just right. And if you don't desire, that's okay too. Things that play no part in the greater, higher good of all is guilt and shame. That has to go. No matter how big or small, movement is still movement. The next article is by Trish Yancey. She's a licensed Unity teacher. It is titled Centered on Faith, where she begins the article, "Everything happens for a reason," has been tossed around so much that it has nearly become a meaningless cliche. But think about it. If you choose to look for the reason in things you'd prefer were not happening, imagine all you could learn. How would that shift the way you move through challenges? How would life change? We find what we seek. If we look for lessons and possibilities with faith that they are knowable, life becomes one of purpose and evolution, no matter what comes. Everything about our journey is transformed if we let go and let God. Another well-worn aphorism that is also incredibly powerful when truly embodied. For me, that defines practical spirituality, and I want in. She also has a list for getting centered fast. She instructs her readers to choose one or more action to get centered when you only have a few minutes to calm yourself. Pause. Take a deep breath and release. Put your hands on your heart and connect. Breathe in with I am, and out with in God, or I am, God is. That's mine, or one I've heard as well. Look up, literally. I love the clouds. Take off your shoes and stand on the earth. Feel. Call a trusted friend. Count to 60. Reach out to Unity Prayer Ministry to ask for prayer by calling 816-969-2000. Think of 3 things to be grateful for. So the prayer call center at Unity Village goes back before there were phones, when the primary communication was sending letters. Seems hard to imagine. To this day, there are volunteers there 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, continually praying. When you request prayer, whether through call, email, or the website, for 30 days, volunteers are praying affirmatively, not on your problems and circumstances, but the truth of who we all are and the best and most favorable outcome. Woo, that was a lot. I hope you got lots of value from this. Liking and subscribing is showing love. To wrap it up, if you would please join me in affirming we are the beloved of God, whole, healed, well, perfect in this and every moment. Sending you big hugs, lots of love, and blessings abundant. Be blessed and be a blessing. Know that I love you, but don't let me love you more than you love yourself. Till next time.